Hey,
Mariah.
Mariah.
Hey,
This is
everybody.
hey, this is Jared McDonald with the Daily News here in Bowling Green. You guys, a couple of close games this weekend. Obviously, yesterday 3 OT, today another 1 point win. But you guys come away with your first sweep in conference play. How important was that in trying to do what you're trying to do this season?
The sweep really, it built up our confidence. The first couple of games in the season, we was just not doing well. And today just really built up our confidence.
Hey, Mariah, Drew Tennis again with the College Heights Herald. So last night's game, hitting that triple over, going into triple overtime and hitting the buzzer beater. What was the energy like in the locker room?
Oh, we were hyped. It was hot in there for real, if you're going to be honest. That was a big shot for us. Miro really hit that, and I don't know. I don't really know what to say. That was just something that was crazy that happened, and so we was just all appreciative of it.
Mariah, just as Jared again. You had some big moments down the stretch in both games. A couple of free throws late yesterday, a big three-pointer, and then today you had that baseline jumper kind of coming down the stretch. In these close games, what's your mindset when you have the ball in your hands?
The first thing that goes in my mind is what's the best shot for the team? Not the best shot for me, but what can we do to get a score on the board and then get a stop and get another score? Because that's kind of what we do in practice: stop, score, stop. So for one, I think about what I can do to help the team, and then if I got a wide open lane, I'm gonna take it. But if not, I throw it and get into the game.
Offensively, it seems like things weren't really clicking for either team. Low shooting percentages through the first half. At halftime, it seems like things started to pick up a little bit. But defensively, I guess what was the key for you guys in this one?
To keep number 15 out of the drive, keep three off the 3-point line, just to execute, make sure we play house first, get in the paint, and then make people who 3-point shooters dribble, and people who dribble, make them shoot the three.
And going off of that defense, they didn't have Jet Wilson tonight, number 13, and she kind of went off in the first half yesterday, hit some big shots late. Did that change what you guys were doing defensively at all?
It didn't. I don't think the team knew that she wasn't going to be at the game until after the first quarter. But we just adjust. So that's about it.
Drew Tennis again with the College Heights Herald. So just following a sweep of Charlotte, how do you guys feel going to play Florida Atlantic next weekend?
Confident with all hopes. We know that, that's a different team. They're a little bit bigger than us, but when you go in high, great things happen. So as long as we keep our confidence up, we'll be fine.
When you see Raneem go down like she did, obviously in a lot of pain, what's kind of going through your mind? And then, I guess, what are you thinking when you see her hit that big three to give you guys the lead?
And for one, it shows how tough Nemo is. Nemo hit the ground hard and came right back in the game and shot a big shot for us. But while she was out, it was on us to defend and keep the score where it was, just in case if she can come back, she could do what she needed to do on the floor. So.
Anything else? All right. Thanks.
Hey, thanks, Mariah. Hey, Hope. This is Jared McDonald with the Daily News here in Bowling Green. First sweep of the season for you guys. Obviously, a couple of close games with the 3 overtime buzzer beater yesterday and the one that came down to the wire 1-point win today. How important was it to get this sweep, move back to 500 and league play, and trying to, build up your standings heading into, the rest of the league play in the conference tournament?
Extremely important. So important, just because it's more of our confidence more than the rankings and everything, just because we know that we're getting better every single day. And it just really helps our confidence keep building when we finally see it in the games and we don't have little mind blocks. We're just growing every day and getting better every day. So this sweep really was really important.
Hope, this is Hunter Smith with WBKO. Just after coming off of a game last night that was so emotional, and having such a high from that, how hard was it hard to kind of just refocus and lock in for this one, or did you still have a lot of that energy carrying over?
We had a lot of energy coming in this game because of stuff on social media. So it was kind of a little bit of like we had that chip on our shoulder for both teams, obviously. So it was just like, you're in our home gym and you all haven't won here. They're like 15-0. So, I mean, we just had that chip on our shoulder and we were like, listen, this isn't going to be the time you're going to win in Diddle. So.
Hope, Jared, with the Daily News again. Offensively, it seemed like things weren't really clicking for either team early on in the first half, low shooting percentages. But defensively, it seemed like you guys were playing well. And you personally, you finished with 4 steals. Defensively, what was the key tonight?
Well, no team likes our 77 defense. And we knew that would mess them up. And then we decided to do choke 2, which was just take out their best 2 players. And it's really helpful when everyone is moving and on the same page. And so it's just like mixing defenses, like really confused them tonight, which was key.
Hey, Hope, Drew Tennis with the College Heights Herald. So you scored 12 points today. And I was wondering, do you think that triple overtime victory last night was kind of a confidence boost for yourself and a lot of other players on the team?
Yes, for sure. Just because we knew that we could do it. Like, we beat them last night, and we know they're going to be the same aggressive. I mean, trash talking, like whatever, same team, but we just knew we beat them last night. We can beat them again.
Hope, Jared, with the Daily News again. You mentioned that confidence that you guys have built and how much you guys have improved. Looking back from that first game, you shot 0 for 13, and then these last 2 games, you've been efficient. It seems like you've been improving every single game. I guess, how have you seen your game change and evolve, even since the beginning of this season?
It's just like Ivy says. I was struggling in the beginning because one day I would come in and I would have a good practice, and the next day I would come in, I couldn't hit anything. I mean, everything was a turnover, everything was a block. And so it's just a roller coaster. Like freshman year is just a roller coaster. And I think right now I'm kind of like peaking, I guess. So I just hope that I can be consistent, but it's just part of freshman year, I think. Take more charges, Coach said.
Everybody good? Anything else?
Thanks, Hope.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, Drew Tennis from the College Heights Herald. So following that triple overtime victory last night and then beating Charlotte in regulation today, are you starting to see your hard work and practice pay off?
We're becoming more consistent. We're on defense. We're more aware of what's going on. On offense, we're settling down. We're showing a whole lot more composure. The turnovers went down a little bit tonight, which was a positive sign. I think Hope had a positive assist to turnover ratio, which is a huge thing. And so, I think that we're still not seeing the results of some of our shooting practice, because I'm telling you, the kids shoot the ball really well in practice, in our drills and live play. We chart all that, and those numbers aren't consistent with what we're doing in games yet. And so that part, I'm still looking for that growth, and that'll happen, I believe. But I really like how the ball's moving more freely. Players are moving a little bit more. We get stagnant sometimes, like I guess all teams do. But I don't feel like we're trying to create everything by ourselves anymore. We're trying to play together, and that's what makes us better. And I'm really proud of how they did that tonight and how they just kept showing toughness and coming back.
Hey, Coach, Jared McDonald with the Daily News here. You guys are able to come away with your first sweep in conference play against the team that was unbeaten in conference play heading into this weekend. Both from a league standpoint and a confidence standpoint, what does the results this weekend mean for you guys?
It means we're getting better. We're still growing, and so Charlotte's I think they're probably the second or third best team in this conference. Now, I don't just because of one, I don't think that puts us at that same level, but we were this weekend. And so that means we have that potential and we can keep working towards that goal. And the goal is to be there at the end of the season. It's not where you are, it's where you finish. And so, I think there's a lot of growth as a team and there's a lot of growth as individuals. And we just got to keep pushing that envelope a little bit and keep swimming forward.
Coach, Drew Tennis again with the College Heights Herald. So Raneem went down late in the fourth. What's her status? Was she okay?
I think she got an elbow to the nose. And when she first went down, I didn't see it. I saw her fall. She was off balance. I don't know that if anything was intentional. I haven't seen that film. She just fell. And so I didn't know if she hit her nose or if she had a busted lip, or I didn't know what it was. And so once I went and checked on her and realized it was just her nose, I was kind of waiting for her to calm down. Then she actually sent word that she was ready to go. And so, you can talk about Renee, but the key part of that was Tori Hunter. Tori Hunter came in that game, got some big rebounds, made a score, and she had one foul down there, but she played some great minutes to get us through that stretch. And I felt perfectly confident that she would help finish that out just like Reneem did. But it was a good time for Reneem to knock a three down.
Coach Jared with the Daily News again, another player that had some big moments, maybe not the moments that really stand out a ton, not Merrill buzzer beater or anything, but Mariah Haywood, she makes a couple of free throws in crunch time, a 3 in crunch time yesterday, grabs some rebounds. She makes a baseline jumper, late in the game in a crucial situation tonight. How have you seen her grow in these last couple of years and especially this season?
Well, it's mainly the growth in the last couple of years has been off the court. And she's made a lot of progress in that area. And I'm proud of that her growth on the court is happening now. And so you're seeing maturity, you're seeing a lot more composure. She's able to handle adversity better. Like young players, sometimes things don't go their way and they get real frustrated. And so Mariah is really handling that better. She's learning where her strengths are and she's playing to her strengths. But she's also learning where some areas opportunities are. And so she's starting to explore those as well. And so, the kid's got a lot of potential. She's got a huge upside and she's a sophomore on the floor. And so she's going to be a good player for us. Defensively, she's done a great job on the other team's best player every game. Jada's a tough guard, but we had her again on her most of the night. Then we switched to the zone, and she still takes that personal, defending the other team's best player. And so, real proud of how she stepped up, made some big shots, and she missed that free throw. It didn't affect her. She came down and guarded.
And, another player, I heard you say that she needs to take more charges, but Hope Savori, it seems like lately she's really kind of coming into her own and kind of hitting her stride. Yesterday, a very efficient day, again, 12 points today. And I know you mentioned the positive assist to turnover ratio. Since that Tennessee game, obviously that's Tennessee and they are who they are, but how have you seen her grow and her game?
She's learning. I told Hope and Allie, I said, everybody on the floor is going to want the ball. They're going to call for the ball. And out of respect and admiration, Allie and Hope both, they want to pass the ball to Renee. They want to pass the ball to Mira. They want to pass the ball to Mariah. I said, you're in control. And I'm not going to be mad at you if you decide you're not going to throw the ball. But I'm not going to be happy if you try to force the ball or throw a bad pass. It results in a turnover. I said, so you're in control. And so if you want to look them off or tell them no, that's your choice. And so I'm seeing a little bit of growth in that. There were several times tonight I felt like Reneem would call for the ball and we try to lob it in there, and that's just too slow of a pass. It's not going to work like that. And so we got to keep playing, keep turning the offense over, keep working and get a better look later on. So I'm seeing those wheels turn a little bit more for Hope and Allie, and then decision-making is improving every game.
Greg, Drew Tennis again with the College Heights Herald. So you guys are playing Florida Atlantic next weekend, and they have Iggy Allen, I believe is her name, who's one of the top scorers in the conference. So what do you know about them, and how are you guys going to prepare?
Yeah, Drew, Jared will tell you, I don't even look at the game. I don't even look at the team that we're getting ready to play until we're done with this game. And so I've done that in the past, and then I'm not as clear in the game that we're playing. And so we have a coach that and she's watching them and getting ready. And so as soon as we get home tonight, I'll start looking at the scouting report and watching film. I'm aware that Iggy's a great player. I'm aware that she can score. But Jada, number 15, I forget her last name. She's a pretty good scorer as well. She's 5th in our conference. And we played Anastasia Hayes, and she's a pretty good scorer in the country. And so I'm sure our players will be up for the challenge, and we'll find a way to give us the best opportunity to compete and have a chance to win that game.
Coach Jared with the Daily News again. They didn't have Octavia Jet Wilson tonight, number 13. She was one that hurt you, especially early yesterday, and then hit some shots late. Did that change the way that you guys wanted to do anything defensively tonight?
Yes. You saw some of the things we were doing defensively, and obviously some of that was planned for Octavia. And before I go further, our condolences and our thoughts and prayers go out to Octavia and her family. She played yesterday and then left to go home because her grandmother passed and she had to go home to a funeral. And so obviously that affected their team. She's a great player. She really gave us fits last night. And so we did have a plan for her. But you know, our hearts and thoughts are with her and her family right now. And so looking forward to her get back on the floor. Charlotte's a great team. They got some really, really good players, and they're going to be there in the end.
Coach, this is Hunter Smith with WBKO. Did you get an explanation as to why that that shot by Hope to end the third quarter, she didn't get a foul call on her, when in the end of the first quarter, Charlotte had basically a similar situation, but it went their way and they were able to shoot the free throws?
Hunter, it sounds like you were right there in my conversation with the referee. That's exactly what I said. I said those were very similar, and all I was told was she didn't see contact, and so at the end of the day, that's their call to make. And you know, I can complain about it, I can fuss about it, but they're not going to change the call. And more importantly, I'm trying to model and lead these young ladies that we're not going to use referees for excuses for us not making plays. And so that didn't go our way, and we had just overcome it and keep playing. I felt like that was one that was very similar, but it just didn't happen that way. And so I'm proud of how our players are worrying a little bit less, not at all, but they're worrying less and less about the officials and more about their play.
Anything else?
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.